scenes and details may be intense or unsettling for certain viewers.
Welcome to the Cartel, where power, danger, and cash runs everywhere. You're the guide, the one who walks contraband through thin air and dead silence. You are out on a high-altitude desert trail with 4 mules and 2 cartel escorts. You are here because you know the safe lines through rocks and salt where cameras don't reach. Tonight you stay alive by keeping everyone moving. Headlamps stay off, only a red filter flicker, then darkness again. You lift your hand and the line stops like a single animal holding its breath. One mule stumbles. The pack shifts wrong. You step in close and grab the tarp. You pull it back. Warm breath hits your knuckles. A teenage girl is wedged under the canvas. Plastic cuffs bite her wrists. Duct tape cuts across her mouth. Her eyes snap open and lock on you like you are the only thing left. Beside her, taped to the pack frame, is a small brick. Too neat. Too light for what you usually move. Behind you, gravel crunches. An escort raises his rifle and angles the barrel at your shoulder. He tells you to keep moving. Your hand freezes on the tarp. Your brain does the math in one beat. If you react, you die. If you don't, she disappears. You let the tarp fall back like you saw nothing. You give a small nod. You step forward, you click your tongue, and the mules start again. As you walk, you slide your knife into your palm, blade flat, no shine. You keep your arm loose like it's just cold. You lead them deeper into the dark with a living witness breathing under your root. You take them to a rocky ridge overlook. It's your excuse to check bearings. Thin moonlight, distant tower lights blink on the horizon like slow eyes. You crouch with one escort, compass in hand, acting bored. The other escort scans with binoculars and thinks he's the smartest man on the ridge. Behind a boulder, you drop to one knee like you're tying a lace. You slide your body just enough to reach the tarp. You peel the duct tape at the corner of the girl's mouth. Just a gap. Just air. You keep your face turned away from her. You tell her the rule in a whisper she can barely hear. If you scream, you both die. Nod if you understand. She nods fast. Too fast, like she's trying to jump out of her own skin. A mule shifts and a metal buckle jingles. The escort taps your shoulder, impatient. You fold the knife and tuck it back. You lift the compass, frown at nothing, and point to a false landmark. You stand. You wave the group forward. You start them down the wrong saddle like it's routine, like your throat isn't closing, like you didn't just pick a side. Pre-dawn graze the world at the edge of a salt flat. Shapes get sharper, mistakes get easier to see. You lead them onto the crust on purpose. Your boots stamp clean prints. The mules leave deep half-moons, a trail a child could follow. You count steps. You watch the escorts relax because they think you're just doing your job, then you stop. You look down like you just noticed where you are. You curse under your breath and signal a correction. You sell it like an honest error. The older escort grabs your collar and shoves you hard enough to make your teeth click. He tells you you're getting sloppy. You take it. You stagger. You point at the horizon and pretend to reorient. Under the tarp, the girl flinches with every touch. You feel it through the pack frame like a heartbeat against wood. Your lead mule pins its ears. It knows this turn. It knows you don't do this. You force the line to pivot, marching them off the crust and into harder ground. You bought time. You also left a signature. A distant engine note rides over the flats. Not close, not friendly, just proof you're not alone out here. You keep walking. You keep your face blank. Inside, you start building a trap out of open desert and other people's bullets. Dawn finds you at an abandoned mining camp. Broken roofs, rusting generators, corrugated metal that screams if you touch it wrong. You call for a quick water check. You act like the camp is just a landmark. The escorts spread out, searching shacks for anyone stupid enough to be hiding. You take the girl by the elbow through the clutter like she's just gear that's shifted. You steer her into a collapsed assay office. Dust. Splintered desk, a hole in the wall big enough to crawl through. You push her down behind the desk. You cover her with a tarp and press 2 fingers to your own lips. Don't move, her hands shake. She clamps them over her mouth anyway, like she doesn't trust the tape gap you gave her. Outside, one escort yells your name and kicks a door. Metal rattles. A mule stomps and chains clink against a pipe rack. You step back out slow like you're counting mules. The older escort shrugs his jacket off as he checks a shack. He drops it on a crate without looking. That's the window. You reach in. Your fingers find the hard rectangle. Satphone heavy, too important. You lift it clean and let the jacket fall the same way. The screen lights in your palm. Signal bars flicker, then stabilize. You tuck it against your ribs and keep walking because if you stop now, you'll start acting like a man with a plan. Hard sunlight hits the dry riverbed. Heat shimmer starts early. Shadows shrink. Everyone can see everything. You walk behind the line. The escorts march ahead, rifles loose but ready. The last mule carries the pack with the girl hidden under it, her weight disguised by straps and canvas. The Satphone is a brick in your pocket. You wait for the one moment their attention drifts. A dust plume forms far off. Vehicle, maybe one, maybe more. You pull the Satphone low by your thigh and dial a stored contact. A checkpoint boss, a rival with an ego and a trigger finger. You feed coordinates fast. You tell him his rivals are cutting his lane. You tell him they are here now. You tell him to come heavy. You end it. You delete the call log. You wipe the screen with your sleeve and bury the phone back in your clothing. A faint beep leaks out anyway. One escort looks back, eyes narrowing. You cough hard, loud, ugly. You spit dust. You wave him on like you're annoyed he even noticed you. The girl's shoulders shake under the pack. She stays silent. On the horizon, two separate dust trails start to grow, two groups, two storms, and you are walking straight into the middle on purpose. Late morning, a cliffside footpath, bright sun above, deep shadow under overhangs. The older escort kneels to inspect prints. He's not looking for beauty, he's looking for betrayal. You see it when he shifts his boot. A tiny blinking dot stitched into the tongue, too clean, too deliberate. A tracker, your stomach drops. The cartel doesn't need your footprints. They have a line on you. You stop like you're adjusting your own gear. You bend, your knife flashes once in shadow. You slice the boot tongue, quick. Precise, the blinking tag drops into your palm. You flick it into a rock crevice where it disappears like a swallowed tooth. You straighten up and wave everyone forward harder than you should. The escort's face tightens. He starts asking why you're rushing. You answer with route talk, wind, visibility, anything. On a distant ridge, a lookout kid throws a mirror flash. One bright strobe of sun, then another. They are signaling your position. You keep the line moving anyway. A high whine rises overhead. You look up. A patrol drone slides across the sky, small and steady like a metal insect that never blinks, and you know it's not here by accident. Noon funnels you into a narrow canyon choke point. Sunlight cuts the floor like a blade. The walls throw back every sound. The drone hovers above, camera gimbal searching. The escorts aim up and spit curses. They hate being watched. At the canyon mouth, engines growl. Rival pickup trucks roll in, mounted lights, men hanging off the sides with weapons ready. Your bait worked. It's also too perfect. You shove the girl behind a boulder. You press her down. She bites her sleeve to stay quiet. You have one job now. Keep her alive through the first burst. You raise your rifle and fire a single shot into open air. Not at a person, just a crack to pull every eye and every muzzle away from the boulder. It works. The escorts scream orders and open up. The rivals answer. Bullets chew rock, dust erupts in white puffs. Chips sting your face. You crawl low, grabbing the girl's cuffed wrists, dragging her behind cover to a darker seam along the wall. Above, the drone tilts. The camera locks straight onto you, straight onto the boulder. The machine marks the exact spot you tried to hide. And now the canyon is a bowl full of noise with nowhere clean to vanish. You break from the canyon into a scrub-covered ravine. Afternoon light bleaches the stones. Every shadow looks too thin to trust. You drag the girl through low brush. Thorns catch her clothes. She stumbles, but you don't let her fall. Behind you, gunfire fades into bursts and echoes. In front of you, the ravine narrows like a throat. A mule stops dead in your path, not just any mule. One you've guided for years, the animal's handler walks beside it and his eyes are on you like he's finally seeing your face. He recognizes the route change. He recognizes the way you're moving her, not the pack's. He blocks you with the mule's body and pulls a pistol. His hands shake, not fear, conflict. He shouts your nickname to the ridges. Whistles answer back. Lookout kids appear as dots on the high rocks pointing down. Closing the ring, tightening the net, the girl freezes. Her breath goes shallow. She looks at you like you promised something you can't deliver. You lift your free hand toward the handler, palm out. You try to keep your voice low. You tell him you can't explain. You tell him to just let you pass. He doesn't move. Your stolen Satphone vibrates against your ribs. Incoming call, unknown number. For a half second you believe it's your way out. Then you remember the drone, and the mirror flashes. And you answer anyway because you're already too deep to pretend you can climb back out. They drag you into a radio repeater shack perched on rocks. Late afternoon, dim inside, slats of sun cut through warped boards, cables hang like dead vines. The Satphone screen glows in your hand. You answer, expecting the rival boss. You hear your cartel supervisor instead. The line is clean. Too clean, wrong tower, wrong ears. He tells you your call was intercepted. He tells you don't get to improvise on his border. He orders proof on camera. An enforcer steps into the doorway, broad shoulders, flat eyes. He holds the girl by the hair and drags her into the light like she's a tool. The drone hovers outside the window gap. Its camera light blinks as it records. You lunge. A rifle butt slams into your face. Your knees hit the floor. The world tilts. Blood runs warm over your lip. The supervisor keeps talking through the Satphone. He lays out the rule. Witnesses get erased, traitors get corrected. The enforcer shoves the girl into frame again, forcing her head up. A hand clamps over her mouth, her eyes find yours, you try to crawl. A boot pins your shoulder. The drone's light blinks. The enforcer's finger tightens. A single gunshot inside the shack, her body drops out of frame. The sound doesn't echo, it just ends something that can't be restarted. Night swallows the salt flats at a roadside pull-off. Headlights sweep across the crust, then hold you in a white cone like a state. They shove you to your knee. The enforcer films with a phone held steady at chest level. He wants the angle clean. He wants proof that lasts longer than you. Your longtime mule handler stands in front of you with the pistol. Tears cut lines through dust on his cheeks. His hands tremble so hard the muzzle wobbles. He doesn't want to do it. That doesn't matter. The supervisor is not here in person. He doesn't need to be. The phone is his eyes. The drone is his witness. The handler looks at you like he's asking permission to survive. You give him what you can. You lift your chin. You lock eyes with him. You nod once. No begging, no last speech, just the signal that he can stop fighting the impossible. The pistol presses to your head. The shot hits like a door slammed from the outside. You go down onto the salt crust. Face turned. Blood darkens the white. The handler flinches at the recoil and retches. The enforcer checks the video, satisfied, and pockets the phone like it's just another receipt. Engines start, tire tracks carve fresh lines away from you. Hours later, far-off lights approach. Border units, slow silhouettes, they stand over your body without speaking because there's nothing to ask that changes the answer. The girl is gone, not missing, erased. And somewhere your last choice lives forever as a file on a phone, proof that loyalty can be manufactured and consequences don't rewind.